Straight from Boston, it's Founder Thought, the show that has everything from advice, ideas, and inspiration from founders and business owners that made it all happen.
On today's episode, we speak with Elaina Repucci, founder of Simple Sips, a company making delicious fresh cocktail blends. We talked about product development, networking, and bringing joy to the customer.
Welcome to Founder Thought. So today we are here with Elaina from Simple Sips. Make sure I'm saying that correctly. Simple Sips. So in a quick sentence, just tell us a little bit about your product and who you are.
Yeah, so Simple Sips is a fresh cocktail mix. We use fresh purees, fresh juices. We make all of our herbal syrups in-house with fresh herbs. So we basically make them like the restaurants do, and we bottle them so customers can enjoy them at home, or bars, restaurants, caterers, food service professionals can provide fresh quality drinks that taste amazing every single pour. That's something that is really challenging in the food service industry. You could have a bartender who's been on for 2 days or a bartender who's been on for 20 years, and the customer expects a perfect drink every time. And so we really wanted to provide a product that was premium, completely fresh, exactly what they would make by scratch, and then have it bottled so they can do it quickly, easily, and consistently.
So I'm going to jump right away.
Sure.
How you came up with the idea? Because this is obviously, like, I know people say you do this at home all the time. I'm not sure if people do it or not. But how you came up with the idea? Like, you said, okay, you know what? I'm going to make Max. How you came up with the idea?
So I have a lot of different health-related things. So I'm gluten-free, I'm egg-free, I'm dairy-free, you know, so on and so forth. And so I couldn't really join in on beer drinking. Sometimes wine would bother me. Don't know if it's the sulfates, whatever. But I was always drawn to cocktails because you could get such a complex flavor profile out of every single sip, whether it's like you're tasting fresh herbs or florals, and the alcohol adds another dimension. Just every piece of it was so interesting to me. So I was always drawn to cocktails, and I would spend hours making these like concoctions of these syrups that were like insanely challenging to make. And my kitchen would be like completely sticky, sugar, water everywhere. I'm like pureeing my own pears because I couldn't find one that I liked. And then I'd have like 2 cocktails. And I'm like, why can't I just buy a fresh cocktail mix? I want it to taste like it's from the bar, but I don't want to do the work. And then I was like, I'm going to create this product. It shouldn't not exist. I should be able to go to a store and get this.
So, Jump, you did not have experience with bartender before?
No, I worked in catering for a long time,
okay.
and I have a lot of experience in like event planning. I did fundraising and event planning for a nonprofit for a number of years. So that kind of guided me a little bit. My mom used to be a chef, so that also guided me a lot. But no, I was a fashion designer for around 10 years. I have no experience as a bartender.
So you jumped for this. You said, okay, I'm going to develop my cocktail, and you start working. So develop sample at home? Yeah,
I called the health department in Boston, and I'm like, can I make this out of my house? And he's like, absolutely not. And then he told me about the Commonwealth Kitchen, which is in Dorchester. It's a community kitchen where they do a lot of support for food entrepreneurs that have an idea. And at the time, there was this program, I think it's called something different now, but it was called Food Biz 101. And you have to apply for it, present your idea. And if you get accepted, it's like a weekly thing that you do for a few months, and then you like graduate from it, and then you can apply for the kitchen. And they teach you how to make the label. They teach you about like, how do you make the nutrition piece of the label? What do you need on a label? How do you, make it safe? What things do you need to get your ducks in a row to actually launch a safe product and get approved with the city of Boston and the state of Massachusetts? And so they introduce you to like the Lawyers for Civil Rights is a great organization that helps small businesses, and all these different pieces of the puzzle that you need. The Commonwealth Kitchen kind of brings them all together and helps you through the creation of the process. So without them, I don't know if I'd have a product today. I mean, they really guided me very specifically through the steps, which helped. That doesn't mean it was any easier than it was extremely challenging because I didn't have food experience. And so, I got all my ducks in a row, and I got the approval. I was approved by the state, and I had my label, and everything was good. And then I got into the kitchen and I made a bunch of product, and I was like, oh, I need customers to buy this. Because you're
number one ingredient.
Yeah, you're like so focused on getting it. And of course, my friends and family bought it. But they can only support you for so long. Then you need to grow and get customers and do events and farmers markets. And it became this whole thing where I came out of the product development thing, which I was really good at because I was in fashion. So I knew how to I knew how to develop a product, make it look great and taste great. And then the customer piece was like, oh, geez, now we really got to, I have the inventory, we got to sell it. So I entered the next phase of my business.
So how you came up with the name?
So Simple Sips or the names of the cocktails? Because those are
Simple Sip. Let's talk about the name because it's very unique name, very easy.
I think it's very telling.
Very telling. Like Simple Sip, if I drink cocktail, probably I know what she's talking about. So how you came up with the name?
So we actually went back and forth between a Sip of Boston, which was an Instagram I had started prior to starting the company. And I would like go around, taste different cocktails, take pictures, post about them, things like that. And I was between that. And then I came up with Simple Sips because I really wanted something that would encompass that it's everything you need for a craft cocktail, everything you need for a signature fresh cocktail. All you have to do is add the liquor. And so I was trying to think of what's a name that could go across, even if I develop new products. Say I decided to do rimming salts, or I'm not going to do that. But if I wanted to, I wanted all my products to align with something that was simple and easy. Everything you could possibly need, you just add one ingredient.
And when the process developed the name, it was by yourself or you had people? How you can, because I know develop a name is not easy. Because like when we develop a name, we go back and forth like months sometimes. Does make sense, does not make sense. How you can develop the name?
So I did everything myself.
Wow.
I design all the labels myself. Everything that you see is something that I did.
Wow.
So I crowdsource everything I do. So it's the name. Every person I talk to, do you like Simple Sips or a Sip of Boston? Like, do you like those? What do you think about them? Ask all my coworkers, random people, anybody who would let me ask them a question, I would ask them. And I weighed the pros and cons, asked my parents, looked at both of the ideas and said, I feel like Simple Sips.
What the name was? Boston?
A Sip of Boston.
Yeah, Sip of Boston. Yeah.
So I just crowdsourced it. And you know what? A lot of things, I feel like making a decision is better than an indecision. And that's just something I try to live by. You have to make a decision. So I figured I can always rebrand if I have to. Like, let's get moving. Let's make this product. So couldn't print the labels without the name. So I had to land.
The label?
Yes. So I came up with a label because I really wanted something fun. The colors of the cocktails have the really bright, fresh fruits in them. So I wanted the labels to really stand out and have bright colors on them. And I don't know how I came up with all those designs. I wanted to show fruit on it, but I wanted it to look kind of sketched. So designed the fruit behind the logo and the bright colors.
Very cool.
So now I do have a lot of questions, but I'm going to ask because I think a lot of people are interested in this. I'm interested in this to learn. Now, because I know developing fresh food is not easy because now how you keep it fresh, how you keep it does not go bad, because I think especially because sometimes like entrepreneur people, I can do this, but when you get ready to do it, it's a lot of stuff involved.
Right.
So how you learn those? What's the process?
When I was starting, every single person that was guiding me said, you need this to be a shelf stable product. You need it. And I fought back against that every single time because that's not our value proposition, is that we are a fresh product. If you cook fruit, it's not going to taste fresh. It's going to taste cooked. If you cook pear, it tastes like pear pie. It tastes cooked. So that was really important to me that I did not cook the fruits. I wanted it to taste fresh squeezed. So that in itself was a massive challenge, which is probably why there's barely any other brands like ours out there. But I took a class, Better Process Control School. You have to take it. I actually didn't have to take it, but I decided to take it. And I took a lot of different classes on different pasteurization methods and like how I could possibly extend my shelf life safely. I don't use any preservatives in anything. So I have to use other means to pasteurize my product. And not every pasteurization method is available to you when you're small, because I can't go running 10,000 gallons of a product. I don't have that many customers. Sure. So when I first started, my shelf life was 30 days because I couldn't afford any pasteurization. So we were in glass bottles. It was a very different product because I didn't want to use plastic. I wanted it to feel high end. And then once I learned more about different pasteurization methods, I found one that worked for us it required me to switch to plastic bottles, which is what kind of ignited the shift. And then it extended my shelf life to 6 months.
Oh, wow.
So that completely changed our ability. We could then be in stores.
Yeah.
I was able to then get my wholesale license because I could be in stores. I could, you know, it can sit in a warehouse for a month or two and then ship out to a customer. And the truth is the shelf life is longer than 6 months even. It's just when I stopped my testing. But you can't have access to those until you get your quantities up. So it's a real, and that's like the name of the game with small business. It's the hustle of the uncomfortable in-between phases, you know, when you're not with a distributor yet, but you have to get the product to restaurants because the distributor won't take you on unless you have restaurants. So you're driving to restaurants all over New England to get them the product, and you're always in this like uncomfortable phase. And that's what it was really like developing a fresh product. It was very uncomfortable because I had to sell it as a 30-day shelf life for a really long time until I could get there.
Does it require refrigeration right now?
Yes.
It does. Okay.
But it's 6 months I know, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so now, because I think I saw when I looked at you on Instagram, it looks like you are in stores.
Yes, we are in stores.
Are you in any big stores or liquor stores?
So we do really well in liquor stores and like specialty gourmet shops.
Yeah.
We're talking to a couple of groceries and trying to pick a right time to launch because I'm sure you've talked to other founders of consumer packaged good companies. If you're going to launch in a store, you have to have your staff in there doing tastings or it's going to fail. And if it fails, they don't take you back.
Sure.
It's not, you have one shot. If you don't make it, you're out. So it's really a challenge because, I want to say, I'd love to be in Whole Foods tomorrow. But the reality is I need to be ready. I need to have my staff. I need to have X amount of staff members ready to do tastings every week or it's not going to sell. Because I'm putting something out there that's different. Customers aren't looking for a fresh mix next to, you know, other things in the refrigerator. So I have to really put the work in to drive customers there.
So now you're on liquor stores.
Yes,
Okay.
liquor stores.
And you do very good with liquor stores, yes?
Yeah, we do pretty well.
So how you get inside the liquor store? Do you have to sign up with did you sign up with like this disturber?
Distributor.
So it depends on the store. Some stores only work with 3 distributors, and if you're not with those distributors, get out of my store. I don't want to talk to you. Some stores look for small businesses because like having unique products that the big distributors don't have is special to them. It's important to them. Okay. So those are the stores that you want to get in when you're an up and coming food business. You want to get in with the stores that a customer walks in and they say, oh, we have this new brand. We met them at a farmer's market. They're super hyper local. You'll love them. Like those store owners and those type of stores are the ones you want to be in as a small food business to start and to launch because they're going to go to bat for you. They're excited about you. They know you personally, and they'll let you deliver it to their store and they'll pay you directly, which is more work for the store. So paying out 50 to 200 vendors is a lot more work than paying 3 distributors. So those stores who are willing to take you on, it's a lot of work for them. But you have to find them.
And I think it's all about, like, if you have the right product, too, right? If you have the right product that they're looking for that's going to bring in their customers, keep bringing their customers are coming back to them because of it, then it's going to be worth it.
Like, have different, probably, it's luxury store. I will, like, those when you go for a store, even if you go for a cheese store, like, it's almost treat you differently. Oh, let you taste this. We got this from Tucson or whatever. Because go for cheesy places. Anyway, come back. I
missed half of what you just said.
I love the cheese.
I heard it. You go for the cheesy places. I heard that.
I love the cheese. So come back here because you're on a restaurant.
So our largest growing segment of our business is our food service side, which is catering, restaurants, bars, all of that.
I was like if I go for a restaurant and tell them this does not take do they say no, this is gonna affect our business, or they excited for it? Because I feel I'm thinking about if I am a restaurant, I don't want somebody to come tell me use this because I want to have something special in my store.
Yeah, so it really depends on the establishment. We're not right for every restaurant.
Yeah, okay.
But the restaurants we are right for are high end, high volume. So if you have a packed bar and you want to provide a high quality product, a high quality drink, and you're paying 10 really expensive bartenders who are very experienced, and they're squeezing the juice. How many drinks are you serving? Because you can only do so many. If you have a fresh product that you can pour and serve in under 1 minute, I mean, under 30 seconds, really, you're increasing your turnover.
Right, yes.
So if you want to provide a high quality product and you need to do it quickly, consistently, and like crank out a lot of them, that's where our product comes in, because it's like a really busy Boston bar or restaurant. They don't have time to be like drip dropping little, like they don't have time for it.
Shaving like shreds of whatever.
Exactly. And there are restaurants who do that, and that's their specialty, and we're not the product for them. But for the bars and restaurants that are pushing out so much, we're perfect for them, because there's so little. I think it's like 80% of the restaurant industry aren't coming back after the pandemic.
Thank you, Owen. Here. We did it. Okay.
After the pandemic, a lot of the restaurant industry workers aren't coming back. They exited the industry because they don't feel like it's a safe industry to be in. It's not resistant to everything. So they can't pay somebody to come, can you come in at 8 a.m. to batch all of our cocktails for the night? They don't have that ability anymore like they used to. It's really hard to get staff. So our product is perfect for this period of time where customers still expect high end, but they don't have the staff to be pre-batching these things. And I'm going through the process of pasteurizing these so they have a long shelf life. Whereas if you are at a restaurant and you're batching for the night, that's probably going to last you 7 days. So
it's probably a lot of waste too, right? Like I would imagine that there's probably so much that they like. I just remember like slices of lemons and slices of stuff that's first of all, it's sitting out there, and it's probably a lot of it's wasted anyways. And this is a product that could basically get around all that, and it's already made, and it's just an easy pour. And
exactly.
I can definitely see there's a lot of benefit to that for sure.
And for caterers, like you think about a catering company that we're going to be working with, and next is the Cater to Fair. They're one of the largest catering companies in Boston, and they'll have an event where they are providing drinks for 2,000 people.
Oh, wow.
So when you look at a situation like that, you want to provide them something very high end, but it would be such an undertaking to make enough simple syrup for that, and then puree the fruits for that, and then find the juices, and then batch it in these massive drums. Like it would just be so challenging. Whereas we can provide that product for them. So golf courses who have how many restaurants or bars within their umbrella, and that's like, and they're just cranking drinks out. We were just in the PGA, and like the first delivery they sold out in like on a Monday. I'm like, the door didn't even start yet.
Wow.
So it's like when you're trying to do volume, that's when we fit in.
So I had one question. Do you have different size bottles too? For
This 16 ounce is our retail size. So this is what I sell direct to consumers through my website, at markets, events, and liquor stores. And then our 1 liter size is for restaurants and bars. But we've gotten feedback even that's not big enough. So we're looking at like a 53 ounce bottle that kind of has like a handle, so they can really get through a lot of cocktails.
So how you get like, for example, if any entrepreneur, business owner is on something like this or similar food, and how do you get in in golf courses? How we find these events? How you do it?
So that's where your personality as a founder and a salesperson has to come in. You have to be what's called like a connector. I delivered mixes to a baby shower, and I saw a card of a catering company that was attached, pulled it, gave the woman a call. Hey, I have a product that might be good for you. I'm local. I saw that you're local. And be personable and call people up. It's kind of what you have to do. You don't have a choice. And you make connections, you know so-and-so, you met them and say, hey, I saw you got a new bartending job at this bar. Would you mind introducing me to the person who makes the decisions? And just using your ability to network. And if you're not good at networking, you got to get good at it, because it's not going to work. Or you can hire a salesperson if you want to, but you really have to be able to connect the dots. And I think it's important as a founder to be boots on the ground with sales for at least a specific amount of time, because you want to get feedback. I called a restaurant who was really interested in the product, and he loved it. He tasted the samples. He was ready to buy it. And I called him, and he's like, I'm so crazy busy. He's down in P-Town. He's like, we're slammed. I don't have time to train my staff. And it dawned on me, well, why don't I just make videos so you don't have to train your staff?
Yeah.
So when you are launching a product, it's really important for you to be listening and talking and calling people and asking them, if you don't want to use this product, why? What's holding you back?
Sure.
Or why do you want to use this product? So you can gear your future towards what's working and kind of.
So this actually, when you talk about the product and when like, you know, because we have epiphany sometimes, you know, I do have something in my hand. When this is the first time you feel, you know what, I do have something. When this happened, like somebody bought a product, big order, small order, somebody, when you have that, you know, you know what I'm asking, the first feeling,
Like
Say it
that
again.
feeling of like, I have something special. Like
I
this
have
is
something
it. Like
special.
this is the
Yeah.
thing. Like when did you get
When
that?
did you
Oh,
the
I
first
know.
feeling?
I know exactly when I got that feeling. It was out of the kind of the first weekend out of lockdown. I was still working full time. So I was running this business and working full time. My full time job was eating up a lot more than full time hours. And I think it was Memorial Day weekend, I want to say, was the first weekend out. And then I had a wine festival that I had signed up to be a vendor at. And it was the next weekend after that. And I had made like 1,000 bottles, and it was my biggest order I'd ever made. And we were like, my mom's like, how are we going to sell all this? I'm like, I don't know. We got to figure it out. And so we went to the wine festival, and we completely sold out of everything.
Oh, wow.
And me and my parents and I were like, okay, this is like, it's kind of now or never. And I put my notice in at my job that next Monday because I realized it's there, it's people want it. And when you're at an event and people are tasting it and they're like, oh, this is so not what I expected. This is amazing. I love this. This is so good. And they're like buying 6 bottles of it. It invigorates you, and it makes you, it like kind of validifies. Is that the word? Validifies what you've known. But you always, I don't know if maybe other people don't do this, but I'm always very critical of myself. And even though I've been doing markets for years now or events, I'll go to an event and I'm like, I hope people like it. Like, I know they will, because we have like, I think it's like over 95% purchase rate from people who try it. And I know people love it, but still, like, you want everyone to love everything that you do. And so it's just going to markets is what really flipped the switch for me.
You see, this is what I want to jump in, because obviously as entrepreneur ourselves, I think you have to be critical of yourself.
Yeah.
I think I see, for me, my opinion, and probably different people disagree, but I think you do have to be critical by yourself. Especially because sometimes entrepreneur, it's in the bubble. Because sometimes you feel like you own by yourself, and you know, like a lot of people, they say it from outside looks nice, looks amazing, but they don't understand the challenges. They don't understand how much hard work. But so I think critical part, I think I really agree with you. You have to be critical of yourself.
You have to be.
Yeah, you have to say, you know what, how I can change this, how I can improve this. Because some people also, it's hard time. Some people, they have hard time to give feedback or the right feedback. And if you're not being critical of yourself enough, nobody else is going to be. Nobody cares also, to be honest.
Right.
Like, you become successful, it's not going to be in any part of it. So I think I love this is critical thing. Now, when you developed this, when you started, did you have a goal? Did you have like, you know what, this is my goal. I want in the next year, I want to sell 1,000 bottles or 2,000 bottles, whatever. Did you have those goals at all?
So I think, I don't know if that differs me from other founders, but I didn't go into this with, this is what I'm going to go into this, I'm going to build it by this age, and I'm going to get out, and I'm going to sell it for this much money. And like, that was never my intention. I started this company because I truly love bringing people together. And I've always wanted to provide a product that enhanced people's time together. I really feel like that's what's most important in life. When at the end of your life, when you look back on what you've done, and it's about who you've impacted, how have you helped people, how have you enhanced other people's life? That's what everyone's talking about. And I really wanted to create that product. And I also have a dream of like having a headquarters where people want to come to work. And I read the founder of Zappos, who RIP is no longer with us, he wrote Delivering Happiness, which is an amazing book. I think anyone who's going to start a company should read it. And it's all about just like bringing joy to your customers any way you can. And that's why I started this company, Cocktails Bring Me Joy, and I really wanted to bring other people joy.
A funny thing, actually, I just finished reading a book over the weekend talking about the dreams big. When they tell you dream big, and I'm going to actually satisfy your point, solidify your point, because what they talk, I never thought about this way. But when you dream big, the fact does not matter, really, what you dream. When you dream big, fact doesn't matter. What also they really highlight the point. If you go in any business just if you want to make $1 million or two, really you're not gonna be fulfilled in the end. You're not gonna be happy about it in the end.
Right.
Even if you make the money, you're not. But if you have like a goal, like what you're saying, I want to make different people's life. I want to bring people together. And then actually you're gonna be very happy about your business, and you're gonna have success right away.
Yeah, success is gonna happen.
Because success is not by money, success by happiness. How much you're happy and how much...
Success is really, what is success? I mean, when I was a designer, every time I was promoted, I wasn't like, okay, great, success, done. Like, you want the next thing. And so I talk about this a lot. Like with my boyfriend, I want to enjoy the journey. I want to have fun while we're doing this. I want to go to events. I want to make people laugh. I want to hear my customers enjoy. I want people to post on Instagram so I can see how much fun they're having. I want to enjoy this journey together. I don't want to be 70 years old and be like, success, I made it. And I want to have fun while I'm doing this. And part of the reason I wanted to start my own company is because I wanted to have the freedom to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. I wanted to be able to grow my company at the pace I wanted to. A lot of people constantly are telling me, you got to grow fast, quicker. You have to be the first, the fastest. And I don't want to be sitting on my throne at the top with my millions alone, unmarried, without, that's not the life I want. That's not my dream. My dream is to have a family, to be close with my family, to be close with my friends, to keep those relationships alive. So it's not so much about, I got to hit these numbers and get to the end of the road. It's how do I make something that's sustainable, that makes people happy, that makes me happy, that people are excited to work for me and come to work and be together. And that's my dream, is to create something that makes everybody happy to be a part of.
Funny thing about the headquarters, because actually this one from our we want to actually develop a company where the headquarters for us. Obviously, this like where our office side now, but we want to develop actually a place. Have you watched the movie The Intern? Robert De Niro and Hattie.
I don't know if I
Anne
have.
Hathaway.
Yeah,
It's a good movie.
I should watch
It's
it.
a good movie. Yeah.
It's the story of
It's
the
really
lady,
cute.
like how she built the
Yeah.
business. Well, this is the company I want to have. Like, people
Like the
want
cool
to be
office
there.
space,
Cool
open,
office,
like you
people
ride your bike
happy,
inside the
enjoyable.
office.
Have you been to the Zappos headquarters?
No, I
No.
never.
Oh, highly recommend. I'm like big fan of Vegas, and me and my sister, when we went out there together, we did like a road trip. We flew out there, went all the way down to Arizona, but we met this couple at the bar, and I was like, I have always wanted to go to the headquarters. I read the book. I'm like on and on and on, and like the guy's looking at me, she's looking at me, and they're like, well, I work there, so we can give you a tour tomorrow if you want.
goodness.
And I'm like looking at my sister like, this is it. This is my moment. And so they like picked us up. We went to the headquarters. Like HR has a ball pit.
Oh my God.
When you go, I think his last name's Shea, Tony Shea. The founder, like everybody has a normal desk. And like you can call Zappos, I don't know if this is still the case, and be like, where's the nearest place for me to get my dog washed? And they'll like help you figure it out. Because the customer service is at the center of what they do. And just being, they asked all their employees like, what would make your life easier? And they were like, oh, well, I don't want to leave to get my nails done. They brought a nail salon in. Like just
goodness.
it was just, it's the
this is a company,
epitome of joy at work. And they love it. I mean, they moved their headquarters, I think, from California to Vegas, and like most of their company moved.
Oh, wow.
Like, who does that, you know?
Yeah.
So I think you should definitely visit it. It inspired me and helped me develop my dream of someday working somewhere and owning something that people would be so excited to come to work.
Amazing.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome.
now, when you're building this journey from building business, did you have a support team? because I think if you don't like, this is a challenge because like what me and Stephen, like we have each other, support each other. Like we support each other a lot. We talk with each other, and it's not all the time fun, but we do it. We go through it. So did you have a support team?
So when I first started the company, I didn't really have anyone, and that was really, really, really challenging. And then over the course of the pandemic, I'd moved home with my parents so I could quit my job because I wanted to be in a very like safe, sound financial position when I did quit my job. And that's when my business really jolted to the next level because I had their support. I could bounce ideas off them. They would come to the kitchen with me, even if we were there till 2 a.m. And then over this past holiday season, my boyfriend now, when we met, we were like dating for a week, and he was at the kitchen helping lift things. He was staying with us till the wee hours in the morning because I had signed up for all these markets and I didn't know how to make enough product for it. I sold out in like a week. I thought I had enough for 2 months. And so it was like just this rush, and without them coming in and helping me through it, we grew 1,000% year over year last year, and we would have totally fell on our face if it wasn't for them. And I don't know how people start companies without a support system, because if I wasn't able to move home, if I didn't have them coming to the kitchen with me, not only would I not have been able to afford to pay staff, I don't even know if I'd be able to find it. Who would come to the kitchen and stay with you till 2 a.m? That's like insane. And so just without a support system, I'm sure it's possible. I don't know how people would do it. And then I think getting a chance to talk to other businesses, which I'm sure so many people say to you guys, but being able to have conversations, I'm scaling up and I'm considering opening my own facility versus using somebody else's equipment. What should I do? Help me through this. And getting their opinion, and then asking the next person, then asking the next person, and helping form your position on the next phase forward off of what other people think, because it can be kind of lonely by yourself making decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had a question. I just wanted to jump in really quick. I had a question about like balance. Like you talked a little bit about how like, you were working full time and then you sort of moved into this full-time position of the company. What's your current like work-life balance like now, and how do you manage that?
So I am constantly reminding myself that it's about the journey. It's not about the end goal. And I don't want to be at the end alone, because that, I think, is something that is so easy to lose sight of. And there are days where I'll just endlessly work. I'll don't get up from my desk, or I'm driving all over New England, and I have been working straight for like 2.5 weeks, and it's like I haven't taken a day off. And I just have to remind myself what's important, and I make it a point to try as hard as I can to never miss anything. And if it means I have to cancel an event, I have to cancel an event. But if my family's having a party, I'm not going to miss that, because I missed a lot. And I have family members who are no longer with us, and I'll never get those memories back. And somebody said to me once, you can always find more money. You can take loans out, you can get investors, you can always get more money. You can never get more time. And I think that's so important, because it's the truth. It's when time is gone, that's it. You're never getting it back. So just reminding myself of that every single day when I'm like, it's like, okay, it's 8 o'clock. I think I'm gonna like call it tonight and just like watch like a 15 minutes of TV and go to bed. Like just being okay with taking a day off every so often and not pushing yourself to the brink. And it also helps me to think about my health. Like if I'm not sleeping enough and I'm not healthy, I'm not going to be able to support my customers. And
you're not going to be able to produce product and think and make good decisions. So
absolutely. So it's just like a constant reminder of what's important, because you'll just totally lose sight of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now when we come back for the product, question for you, how you come up with each one name? Each one has a name, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, how we come up with these names?
So I love puns. I think they're so funny. I don't know if it's it's just me. I think they're great. And so some of the names I came up with on my own. Me, my parents, we talked about it together. But the more recent ones, I usually crowdsource them. I put it out on Instagram like, hey, these are the ingredients. What do you think I should name this? And
That's awesome.
people come up with the best ideas. We have like a holiday flavor we did. We used figs from France. We did maple syrup from New York, fresh lemon juice. We made like a holiday spice syrup. And I'm like, what should we call this? And so Instagram named it Fig and Delish. And it was like so great, my customers are like way smarter than me with this stuff. So I just let them decide. Anything I'm trying to figure out and I can't, I just ask my customers what they want to do.
So
perfect.
now, what's your biggest challenge so far?
So
I know this question a lot of people ask, but I'm not looking at the challenge in business, but like, it's in business, but like what's your biggest challenge?
So I think there's two. There's one related to being a woman and one related to, could also be related to more like me as a person, but something I was not prepared for, which obviously in hindsight I look at it and I should have been prepared for, is the physical toll that running a product-based business will take on you.
Sure.
When it comes to, like, I'm the one lifting the milk crates of 30 bottles and I'm stacking a pallet higher than myself. I'm the one doing that. So when you own the company, you kind of forget like, oh, that's going to be me lifting all of it and me doing it. And so like the physical strain every time I sign up for a farmer's market, like it seems like, oh, it's just a farmer's market. I have to lift the coolers into the van. I have to lift them out of the van. And just the physical toll of owning a business is so challenging for me. And maybe I should have done CrossFit before I started. I don't know.
You should be super fit by now, though, right?
Right. I'm like, I
You're
wish
like
I
30 pounds.
yeah, if I had time for CrossFit, I would 100% do it. It's just like, it's hard. It's hard to be strong enough to do all the events and do all the things you want to do because that's how you're moving your business forward. You're out there, you're on the road, you're bringing bottles places, and it's hard. And then I would say the other challenge that's been really hard for me is like being a woman, you have a cycle and your moods are up and down. And there are days of the month where you're just wiped. You you're exhausted. Your body's tired. You are mentally exhausted and you're not making good decisions. You can't think straight. And if you're the only one running the company, there's really no like backup if you are having a bad day. I'm sure if, you have a partner and starting a business, it's probably a lot safer. But I think being kind to myself when it's time for me to just like, whoa, my body's not doing well. Any little like a customer could say one little thing and I'm like getting choked up about it. I'm like, okay, that's my cue. I think I need to take a nap. But being cognizant of like, I'm a female. I have like a cyclical mood swing lifestyle and being kind to myself about that and recognizing it versus like, I should be able to push through every single day and be on every day. Like that's a challenge for me is like recognizing
I don't think
it.
a lot of women talk about that though. I don't think
totally
that's
agree.
ever like we've interviewed mostly women from all of our founders. I mean, more than half of them. And I don't think it's ever even been a topic of discussion.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because I don't think people even like for me, like I've never even thought of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure it happens.
I literally track what's happening in my moods. Like I'll write in my notes, like started to cry when I heard this song, and I'll write these notes down, and then I'll notice like somebody had said some. This was probably 6 months ago now. Somebody had said something to me, and it was very short. It wasn't even mean. It was just short and to the point, which is fine. And I actually usually like that. And I got very hurt about it. And I was like, I got to check my notes. I check my notes. Oh, 17th, I get emotional. Yep, perfect. This is just my hormones. So like tracking my body and my emotions has been game changer because otherwise you feel like these emotions that you're feeling, people really are hurting you. And the reality is it could just be a hormone swing. It could be you're overtired. It could be something. So just being aware that as a woman, you have these things that
other
can come up.
challenges and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
And like recognizing that because we're hard on ourselves and we'll be like, oh, it's just having a bad day. And it's like, it's okay. Just you can go to bed.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's great.
So now, as a woman, what another challenges you face? Because we interview a few women entrepreneurs, and I know for fact, Steven, she faced those challenges. Because man, it's usually an asses. So what a challenge you face, because usually man, like look at we are like how we face those challenges. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like because usually business it's dominated by man. Usually
Yeah.
man want to.
So I have I'm sure I feel that my answer will be different than a lot of the people that you spoke to. I feel like besides the physical challenges that are, because I'm weak and because I have a menstrual cycle, those things are challenging for me personally. Other than that, I genuinely feel that being a woman has opened up more doors than shut doors. I feel like it has. I wasn't alive starting a business in the 50s and 60s, so I can't compare myself to that. All I know is what I know now, and I know that I can get discounts for putting my product on shelves that isn't available to men. I have all these things that are available to me as a woman, and there may not be available to men. And so, in my eyes, I have only been helped
Amazing.
for
That's great.
which it's kind of, I don't love that aspect of it. I've made it a point to I don't take discounts for being a woman. I don't list myself as woman owned because, and it's nothing, not that I'm not proud to be a woman, but I don't want somebody to purchase my product because I'm a woman. I want them to purchase my product because they love it. Accept me to a market because you love my product and you know I'm going to bring the fun and it's going to be a great time. Don't accept me because of my gender. That's not important to me. That's not important to my brand. It's important is that we're fun. We bring joy and all those other things. So I don't enjoy being looked at as I really reject the victim mentality of all that. And I really want to make sure that I'm viewed as just a founder.
Amazing.
And that there's no special treatment needed. I'm going to make it on my own. You don't have to give me anything for free. I can sit in the same circle as the man and I'm going to make it just as far.
Amazing. Now, if I come for you and tell you, what you have a boyfriend, yes?
Yes.
So if I call you boyfriend, I tell him we have Elaina here. One thing we should not know about Elaina. What do you think he's gonna tell us? You should not know about.
I don't know. Oh, what should you not know about me? I wish you could call him and ask him that. That I use way too much dry shampoo and I don't wash my hair every day because I'm running around.
So now if we call you parents because they work with you in the business, one thing is they tell us you should know about Elaina in this business sense. This is what really you should know about her. You should ask about this point. What do you think they're gonna tell us?
That if I'm really, really tired and you burnt something in the kitchen, don't tell me. Like, fix it and then tell me in a couple of days.
So now if you go back, like if now you tell yourself 2 years ago, one thing you should I should know. I wish if I know this when I start. What from so far from what you learn from your experience, you go for 2 years back, you say, I wish if I know this before I start. From your experience.
I would tell myself, like, something that I've made peace with now is that if I do my best every single day, the rest is in God's hands and it's out of my control. I can't control the weather. I can't control everything. So do your best. Try. Give it 100% every time you can. And the rest is like in the universe. It's out of your control and be okay with that. Whatever is your journey. Let it be. That's what I would tell myself.
Amazing. Do you have a question for?
No, but I want to get into the rapid questions.
Oh, my rapid. Oh, rapid. I should take a sip of water.
These are easy.
Okay.
They're just like fun personality questions. All right. What's your favorite food?
Ooh, I'm gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free. But prior to that, eggplant parm would be like my death row meal, along with gold fever wings from the 99.
Oh, wow.
Yummy. What's your favorite movie?
Ooh, Knocked Up.
That's a good one.
I don't know why. It just kills me. I don't know why.
Is this one with the
news anchor? She
Yeah,
gets pregnant. And it's just like the
hilarious.
sister is beyond funny. It's so great. Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of music?
Ooh. Well, I'm a big time Britney Spears fan. I feel like growing up, she was just like the coolest thing of all time. So basically anything Brittany. I support her in all of her decisions, even though she's going through a rough patch. But I don't know. I don't listen to a lot of music because I have so much going on in here that like I like silence because I'm thinking about stuff. So I guess outside of Britney Spears, I like techno and house music. I love Vegas. I love like the high energy environment. So maybe that type of music.
Yeah. Okay, great. Are you a tea or a coffee person?
Ooh, I'm both. I like coffee in the morning and tea by 3.
Oh, good.
Amazing. It's the same for me.
What do you favorite tea flavor?
Ooh, I've always drank like regular traditional tea with milk and honey.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Are you a day or night person?
Ooh, I used to be a both person. Like I used to be able to wake up at 5:30, go to the gym, do my whole day, then like party all night and get home at 2 a.m. And I could do that. And it was totally fine. Now I would say more of a morning person. Probably like I get pretty tired around 9.
It shifts over time.
Yeah, as you get across the 30 threshold, you're like, I'm a little more tired now.
You might have already answered this, but what's your favorite book?
Oh,
I think we talked about books before.
Actually, my favorite book is not. I do love Delivering Happiness, but I would say I really liked a lot of Malcolm Gladwell's books that kind of talked about like the tipping point. Outliers were really interesting. But there was one book that I've read, and it was kind of about marketing. I can't remember the name of it now, but it's the study of different extraordinary businesses, like this place that serves Philly cheesesteaks with gold chips on it. And just like different ways that different businesses got into the limelight and different techniques they use. And they talk about Rue La La and different companies who tried. So that one. And then my all-time favorite book is Freakonomics. I was an economics minor in college, and I love economics. I just don't have all the time in the world to.
So you went from economic to fashion?
I was a fashion design major with an economics minor.
I
just loved it. And like I loved the study of these little economies that were like just if you haven't read Freakonomics, like the best book ever. So fascinating.
I got it.
Have to check it out.
Yeah,
sure.
it's so good.
Tell us one person who inspires you.
Oh, I would say the founder of outside from Tony Hsieh from Zappos, the founder of Spanx, Sarah Blakely, I think her name is. She's really inspirational about moving
lady,
forward.
she had $5,000, started a business with a $5,000. Now it's a business like $1
she sold it for however many billions. And there's the video of her telling all of her employees, "You're getting like 15 grand to go anywhere you want," and just like seeing how happy her employees are to work for her, and it just is really a nice thing. And she always says like, you can be nice and own a business. You can, and I feel like that's so true.
Yeah. Actually, I saw an interview with her. She was very smart also.
Oh, she's genius.
She's like very smart. And she was working full-time job actually when she started the whole idea. She's very smart.
Yeah,
very
and
smart.
she did a Valentine's Day special once where she talks about when she met her husband and how she knew he was the one. And she says, you want to find somebody who, when your star gets brighter, their star gets brighter. And that was so meaningful to me because I feel like there's so many people you meet along your way, friends, whoever it is. And the more success you have, it kind of makes them uncomfortable. But you're real cheerleaders, and especially you would want your significant other to be that way, like really get so much joy out of you.
And advice to stay away from those people.
Right.
Trust me. Stay away because those people ruin everything.
Totally agree.
Bring you down with them because they actually,
it's tough.
I have too many stories.
It's hard. Yeah, but you got to be okay.
It's hard enough to be motivated and to do and work so hard every day and to produce what you're producing, and then it's even more difficult when you have folks in your network that you love them to death, but they're just not good for you in motivation, and they'll drag you down. And they might not mean to, but they totally do.
Yeah. You have to just be okay with, I can't have this in my life.
Yeah, just like positive. Like it's all about positivity.
Totally. I agree.
Absolutely. What do you think about setting goals?
I think setting goals is so fun. I love it. It's like my favorite thing to do is think about like, ooh, what should we do for the holidays? I have a goal of doing these gift boxes with like these beautiful salts made in Ipswich and these like gourmet popcorn made in Canada. Like I have all these great ideas and goals. And I think it's exciting and it's fun and it's one of my favorite things to do. But I think also being okay with not hitting your goal in a specific time frame because you don't want to get yourself nuts over it.
Yeah, and like totally stress yourself out. And somebody we were just interviewing recently that said they don't actually set goals, they set intentions, which I thought was really interesting because I never thought about it that way. And we're always like, goal, like you gotta reach the goal by the certain time and blah, blah, blah. And it's so stressful, but it's if you set intentions of what you want to accomplish and what you want to do, then it's more of a journey.
It's more like that.
You're on your way to doing what
she is the founder of Flair. She is the founder of Flair. She's very fast-growing company in Cambridge. She said this actually make a lot of sense. Because the way she talked about explained very well. Now, actually, I do have a question for you. When you talk about your product, actually, I want to make sure we bring this back. You are in the stores. You are in liquor stores. Also, you are online. Yes.
Yeah, we sell online direct to customers. We cold ship, so it's a little more expensive because we use ice packs and special materials, and we ship them out all over the country.
So you ship through the whole country, yes?
Yeah. Yeah, we do ship to California. That's extremely expensive. I don't necessarily recommend that, but we do have, I just shipped to California yesterday. People who love the product, they don't care where they send it to. They'll buy it. So yeah, we ship all the time from our website.
And what's the name of the website?
DrinkSimpleSips.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why you add drink? Why is not Simple Sips?
Because Simple Sips was too expensive for me to buy when I started the company. And I didn't have like over $1,000 to buy it. So I figured I'll do that later on. Yeah. But now Drink Simple Sips is on all my stuff. So I stuck with it.
Good.
I like it. Are you a dog or a cat person?
Ooh, I am a dog person. I've been attacked in the night by many cats from my roommate's cat. So I am like definitely. I don't hate cats, but I'm a dog person.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I love cats because I love animals in general, but they're vicious.
And they like knock things off the table when you're like, they'll like look at you and
they're unpredictable. Yeah. They're unpredictable. I think that's what the thing is. What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is overpromising and not delivering. I cannot stand that. I would much rather be like underpromise, overdeliver. I do not like when I made a promise to somebody, you'll have this or we'll have this order for you or you'll get this by I just cannot stand when I can't get somebody what they want or what they need. And so I've driven like up to New Hampshire to deliver cocktails that like didn't make it by someone's party once because it's just like it kills me when I want everyone to be happy. And so like that's super hard for me when, I try to always underpromise so I can always deliver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Set up the expectation. This is actually one very good advice for any entrepreneur. Set up the right expectation.
Yeah. Business in general.
Because when people remember, like if you mess up, they'll never forget that. But if you get it to them sooner than you said, or you went a little bit above and beyond, always remember that.
Yes. Absolutely. What do you miss most about being a kid?
Oh, I miss that you just woke up and you didn't have to do anything, but you couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
It was so fun. And I grew up in Medford, just north of Boston, so there was a lot of parks around, and I miss just like heading off to the park and like doesn't matter, see you later. Like, no one's calling me. And I miss the days before cell phones when like you couldn't get in touch with me. Now it's just constant, but I miss that.
And the final question is one word that describes you.
I would say one word I hope that describes me is joy. Have you ever seen what's the movie about the feelings? Upside Down or something like that. Inside Out. That's the name of it. And one of the characters, it's like it's a kid's movie. One of the characters is Joy, and like there's like Anger, who's always like in a bad mood, and then Joy comes in and she's like hello and like so happy, and everyone's like annoyed with it. And I feel like I have like a little Joy doll that one of my friends got me in a cup that says Joy, but I hope that that's the one word that describes me, and I hope it comes through in my business and in my product. And I hope that that's what people feel when they meet me, when they meet my employees, when they taste our drinks. I hope that's like the one word.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, great. So the final segment is finish the sentence.
Ooh,
All right.
I'm
So
nervous.
when I started my business, I wish I knew this.
how to pasteurize my product and extend my shelf life past 30 days.
All right, great. Leadership for me is about what?
Making sure people have what they need from me to be successful and that they feel supported and that they're happy doing what they're doing.
Okay, great. The one thing that makes a great team member is
Being open-minded to anybody's suggestion, no matter who they are, when they started, whoever. It could be the intern that started yesterday. It could be your boss who's been there for 30 years. Whatever the idea is, like, be open to it.
okay, great. Challenges in life or business are what?
Only 24 hours in a day and needing to have more hours than that. Being the salesperson, being the packaging person, being the delivery person, being the person who's making everything, just being the every person and knowing when and what to offboard off your plate. Because if you offboard the wrong thing, you're kind of giving up something that could be really essential to your brand. But if you offboard the right thing, that can be
Free up your space.
completely changing.
Yeah. Awesome. In 5 years, my business will be what?
Attached to a bar that we can serve simple sips at, and everyone can come in and have a good time, and we can have free shots for everyone, and have a big headquarters that people are excited to come to work. And we just have women who can have families and still work with us and feel like they have a balance, and just everyone that surrounds the business is happy.
Amazing. The person with the most influence on me is
Probably my boyfriend. I really value his opinion on what we're doing, and he's really, really smart and really thoughtful, and he's not afraid to be like, I don't know if that's a good idea. And so I really appreciate that.
kind of keeps you in check.
Yeah, I know he'll tell me the truth, and
Yeah.
I value that big time.
Yeah,
Good.
amazing. The way I handle challenges in my business is
Deep breaths. I honestly, not at the risk of sounding like creepy religious, I pray on it. If something happens that I feel could impact my business negatively, or it could be anything. A customer had a weird experience, whatever it is, and it makes me really anxious. I breathe. I'm like, God, just give me the strength to figure out the right answer and like help the right answer come to me.
Yeah.
And then I always sleep on it for 1 to 2 days and then make a decision.
Amazing. The best advice I would give someone is
Just go. Just do it. It doesn't matter if you are a freshman in college and you have an idea. Make a folder on your computer that says fake plants. I want to make fake plants. And buy some fake plant things on Amazon and make them, and then put a table out and sell them. Do whatever you want to do. It could be anything. Just get started. Because every second you spend trying it, even if that's not the business you end up doing, you're learning something, and it's guiding you towards the place that you want to go to.
Yeah.
Just put your feet on the ground. It's like shoveling snow, one
Yeah.
at a time. And then you get to the end and you're like, oh my God, I had this really cool business. And just move. Just get in the car and go.
okay, great. And the final one is if given the opportunity to do differently, I would do blank.
I would probably hire support a little sooner. I just hired the first people, kind of like an executive assistant role, but maybe hired somebody in that role a little bit sooner, because it's really freed me up to, I was so scared to spend the money because I'm self-funding. So I was really nervous I want to make sure I'm making very sound financial decisions. And I wish I had done it a little sooner, because they're like applying for markets. Somebody can help me with that. I don't need to be doing every little detail. So I wish I did that sooner.
Amazing. Great. So that is it. So the final few questions. What does the future look like for you personally and for the business?
Oh, I hope that My sister's pregnant, so I hope that my future is me hanging out with my niece or nephew. We don't know what it is. And she lives in Newbury. My boyfriend lives in Newburyport. We spend a lot of time up there. So figuring out my balance enough to be able to have some time outside and doing what I love and being with my family. And hopefully that's what my future holds.
Amazing. You might need a couple more staff.
Yeah. I'm going to keep hiring.
And what impact do you want to have on the world?
I have a lot of impact that I want to make on the world, and I just don't know if there's enough lifetimes for me to do it all. This is very off topic, but I think the foster care system has so much potential to be revamped, and there's so many children who just need homes, and I think that there's a lot of opportunity to do some charity work there that I want to at some point, and I think my dream is to have a branch of our business that is philanthropic based, and I would love to support young girls at that age when they're awkward, they're just getting their hormones, they're figuring out how to deal with the mean girl and who am I becoming as a person, and support them and give schools tools to support young women as they're growing up and help them become the best version of themselves. So I think that would be my dream.
Amazing.
Just amazing.
And so if someone's looking to learn more or to get in touch, where can they find more information?
Yeah, so I highly recommend following us on Instagram because that's where we post the most fun stuff, and you can see what we're doing. You can any message you send, it'll go to me directly. You can get in touch with me that way. Our contact form is right on the website. You can go to drinksimplesips.com, get in touch with us that way. Really, any way that you want to get in touch with us, you can pretty much get in touch with me because I'm the only one.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. This is great.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to Founder Thought. You can find more episodes wherever you listen to podcasts or on the web at founderthought.com. Founder Thought is a production of Pepper Gang.